on Bingo is the name of her speech, so let's hear what that's all about. Blame it on Bingo, Carolyn Cousins-Goldman.
He was gorgeous. He had long dark hair, he had beautiful green eyes, and he always wore his tuxedo. He was my first love. His name was Bingo. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, tonight I'd like to share with you a story. Why people call me the crazy cat lady. There's a good reason. I can blame it on Bingo. Bingo was our first cat. We got him when I was about 4. He was not only beautiful, he was a tuxedo cat with white paws, a little white on his face, but he was the sweetest pet. He was so sweet that my brother was able to train him to shake hands with us. He would stand on the stool in the kitchen, and as we walked by, he'd put up his little paw and shake our hands. He was adorable. At dinner time, he would stand out on the sill of the window and look in to the dining room as we had dinner. He was a love. He lived until I was about 20, and I can tell you, I was devastated when he died. In my 20s and my 30s, I didn't want to have a pet. I was too busy, I was dating, etc. But then, in my early 40s, I worked in a law firm, and there was the perennial cat lady. She had 6 cats.
Whoa.
I remember her well. Her name was Linda. Her cubicle had cat paraphernalia everywhere. There were cat calendars, there were cat figurines, and she had pictures of all her 6 cats lined up. No picture of her husband, just of her cats. She loved cats. One day I was standing there talking to her at her cubicle, and I mentioned all about Bingo. She said, "Carolyn, you've got to get a cat. They're such wonderful pets. I have a cat for you. I can give you one of my 6 cats." Well, I ran home to my husband. "Arnold, I've got a chance to get a cat." "Forget it, I don't want a cat," he said. "Too much work." I talked him into at least going and seeing Fred for a cat. Well, when I called on Sunday morning to confirm that we were coming, Linda said, "Sorry, Carolyn, my husband doesn't want to give away Fred." I didn't blame him. But that started the whole cat process. I didn't let that go. I begged Arnold, "We got to get a cat. Well, let's adopt a cat." He said, no, don't want a cat. They'll scratch up all the furniture." But I finally, after weeks, got him to see that if we got a declawed cat, if we adopted a declawed, the cat wouldn't scratch up the furniture. Well, the minute he agreed to it, I went to the yellow pages and found a cat agency called Cat Crossings. "Do you have a declawed cat I can adopt?" "Yes, we just got one in. Her name is Amber, and she's a beauty." I talked Arnold into going to Petco in Burbank. We lived in Encino. So it was a little tough to get him to drive all the way to Burbank. We went there on a Saturday and met Bingo. I met Amber. She was truly beautiful. She was a tricolor cat, a calico, which means she had white and dark and tan running through her fur. Long fur, big green eyes, just gorgeous. The problem was, when Arnold went up to greet her at her cage, she hissed at him. He said, "I don't want anything to do with that cat." So I had to tell the foster lady we couldn't consider Amber. When I told her that, she said, "Don't worry about it. Come back next week. I'll be there. We'll take Amber into a separate room with Arnold. She'll do her trick on him." We went there. She brought Amber in the cage, opened up the cage, and Amber slowly walked out. And just very slowly walked right up to Arnold and slid against his leg. Well, he was hooked. I got Amber that day. She was a wonderful pet. But about 18 months later, I fell in love with another cat. I went to Petco, and there was a declawed, a black and white beautiful cat with a little bob tail. She was a mix. I came home to Arnold. I said, oh, I found a cat, a perfect cat for Amber, a great companion. He said, how do you know they'll even get along? Well, I talked him into going and seeing her. And I told, there was one thing about Arnold at that time, he was always an hour late. So I told him, Arnold, I've got an appointment at noon to meet with a lady to adopt Princess, hopefully. And you need to be there by no later than 12:30. Knowing he's always late. Well, I got there at 12. By 12:20, we were signing on the paper. And he arrived at 12:30. So I got my Princess, brought her home. Amber and Princess never got along. He was right. We had both of these cats for a long time, and they were wonderful pets. Now, I have 6. Crazy cat lady? Yes, that's true. But I have to say that whenever anybody tells me that, whenever anybody says, 6 cats, how can you have so many cats? You must be nuts. I always tell them, well, you can call me nuts, but just blame it on bingo. Madam President.